Want a chance to travel to Boston and watch the Orioles play at Fenway Park? For your chance, play Strike It Rich scratch-offs from the Maryland Lottery and enter your non-winning tickets online by July 10th at 9 a.m. at mdlottery.com/strikeitrich. And welcome back once again to Inside PressBox. Right now, let's take a look at our photo of the week. And the photo of the week, as always, is brought to you by Yuengling Lager, a true American classic. Taste the quality of the 180 years of family-owned and operated tradition, brews into every single bottle. Council of Baltimore Ravens Roost hosted their 48th annual convention in Ocean City last weekend. Chairwoman of the convention, Sue Draper from Roost 65, snapped this picture of a distinguished panel of judges and participants on the reviewing stand at the parade. And of course, that's our old friend Keith Mills, Joe Platania, who's sitting to my right, and myself. And then in the back row, Bill, that's Bill West. And then in the middle was Mel Topa, president, and then Steve.
Steve Schwim.
Steve Schwim.
Yep, Roost 117.
All right. Well, Bill, another year done. 48 in the books. We're fast approaching 50. This one had a different angle to it because the Ravens officially came down this year and had their own sort of event, and it crossed over, and I think it worked pretty well. What do you think?
The feedback going into Sunday, we have a meeting after the with the council president and everything at the end, and it seems that the Ravens, you know, they need to work on some things, but overall, I believe their turnout to get more of the public in Ocean City involved worked out. We all were at the parade. We all know it was about 4,000 or 5,000, which is overwhelming for my Cold Corral days.
Yeah, it's about 1,000 more than we've probably seen, maybe 1,500 more than we've seen.
Right. So going with the council theme, you know, the Raven Nation, Attack of the Purple and Black, and then the Ravens coming down and going around to the outside. So I think Ravens will work out their kinks, and I think for the fan,
it's a better experience. It's a bigger experience, I think.
All right. I think the council wants the Ravens more involved in there. I think the players want to be more involved down at the Castle on the Sands with the fans there. But that's something, and I'm sure Kevin Byrne, great guy, PR guy with the Ravens, will work it out, whatever kinks they had or trouble broadcasting or whatever they had. Me and Joe, we did our Purple Pride show. We got hit with the thunderstorm, but we did in the lobby. You were with us.
Yeah.
We thank Laquan Williams. He put out his foundation, did a great job with us down there, but we got through the storm and broadcast it. And Joe, I got to say, it was a great time down there. Raven fans, the first week of June, and we're talking about football, and you know, mandatory minicamp's not until June 12th. So
that's right. The 7-year stand and I have been down there at the reviewing stand providing the commentary. This is probably the best attended parade that we've seen, and of course doing those multiple radio shows was fantastic. Laquan Williams was great. The only thing that may have infringed upon it schedule-wise was the fact Lardarius Webb's softball game was that Sunday, and that's why a couple of Ravens had to get out of Ocean City. But there was like 6 players, a couple of assistant coaches at the parade, very well attended by the fans, and I know it's a cliche at a time like this, but a great time was had by all.
Well, I got to tell you, that was a surprise to me that Dean Pease was down there,
yes,
the defensive coordinator of the football team, and his new assistant, who's just been Matt Weiss.
Matt Weiss, who is he is the guy in Harbaugh's ear whenever they do the replay challenges, and John has one of the best head coaching success rates of replay in the NFL, and it's because of Matt. And so to see Matt and Dean there was a surprise. As
we're talking here, you can see we're showing some footage, or not footage, but photos, still photos that Sue and the council took. Each year has a different theme. This was the
Ravens Nation, Attack of the Purple and Black.
Purple and Black.
48th year.
Tell us a little bit about what goes into these floats, which we can't really accurately describe here, but the amount of time these people put into these things, it's just really quite amazing, Bill.
And we all touched on my show, Joe. The biggest thing about this stand is that the Ravens are the largest club in the NFL.
There's nothing like this.
Right. It goes back to the old Cold Corral days, and people spend time. And remember, there's 1,800 people registered that you got to get food for. They got their floats. They got to drive them down. They got to do this is all volunteers. And I'll tell you, hats off to Mel Topa and Charlotte Krause, Vice President of the council and Sue Draper and her committee. Tremendous. I mean, the weather was great. In 48 years, we're 2 years away from 50 years doing this, and you had many, many years without football, and they still had it. But the time, effort, and the thought, you know, each float, you know, we talk about Roost 117 was the overall winner with the Trojan, and then you had the Rock'em Sock'em thing that we saw in the pictures that you had up earlier, and then you had the RAD, you know, Ravens Against Drunk Driving, 65 came up through. You know, they have a bus, and they decided to take people when they're drinking and take them to, you know, any kind of affair. They're doing it for weddings and everything. They have it great.
It's a really a tremendous.
And Joe, you know how you come up with Ravens Against Drunk Driving, Stay Alive, Roost 65. That's something that takes thought, you know, and into it. So all the Roost, you know, we're up to 120. Stand time 50 gets here, we'll probably be 125, 130. Ocean City, I mean, it's got to be.
Well, I'm just telling you, people that have, Joe, you and I have seen it grow again over these last 7 years, but I got to tell you, people that have not experienced this, they really are missing a real slice of Baltimore life.
I think that's very well said, because the passion that Baltimoreans have always had for football, it's manifested in the floats, in the parade, and basically being a member of the Ravens Roost, because football players, they want to give back to the community. The Roosts have done the same thing in the last 5 years alone, $1.7 million to various player foundations and various local charities.
All right, Bill, we got less than 30 seconds. What's next up will be all the move toward the plunge?
No, actually, the football, they'll go to and move on to the football, and then the plunge will be there. But coming up, Ray Summer Days for the council, and their Ray Summer Days coming up June 7th, 8th, and 9th. The council's all part of that, and a lot of the Ravens Roost support the Ray Lewis Foundation. All
right, guys, again, a pleasure. Joe Platania, Bill West from Ravens Roost 15, and Purple Pride Report over on 1370. We'll be right back and wrap things up, so don't go away. Inside PressBox is presented by Freedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to Freedmont.com now for all of your mortgage needs.